For the gathering place, I use pretty much everything from ink washes, watercolor to digital media. And now with our new book, Darren's Drawings, it's fully digital.
And basically I work in, like, I'm a pen and ink guy for my own stuff. Animation's all digital, but I like messing around and just getting whatever medium works to get what I'm trying to get out in my artwork and my stories to reach people.
Well, interestingly, right now I am actually going to be in a pulp fiction anthology that's coming out early November. I'm a writer, so for me it's just word, although sometimes I just use Note on my phone. That's my main way of doing my own content. And then when I'm creating reviews and interviews, I use StreamYard to go live. And then if I'm editing something, I use Premiere Pro from Adobe, which I'm looking at changing because of AI problems with them. But that's my current tool set.
Yeah, so I mainly write, so I'm using Scrivener most of the time to get my scripts together. And then, yeah, that's keep it very simple writing-wise. And yeah.
On the end of my show, it is making sure that cool people like the man handing the camera right now get to keep doing what they're doing, and people can see that stuff, because all of the cool comics made by Marvel and DC, the people behind them that, you know, make these stories that we love, that make the art that we love, they were once at a place like this. They were tabling somewhere, they were trying their best, not getting noticed, until that one person noticed them. And so if I can in any way help people make their books, do what they love, and by God, maybe get noticed, and even just by people, and more sales happen for them, then I'm happy. And that's what drives me.
Well, that's a deep question. I mean, I'm really into like pulp genre stuff, so you know, I read a lot. I'm into all kinds of genre fiction, but comics as well. Big DC fan, you know. So yeah, just constantly reading. So hard to pick one thing.
Oh, pretty much everything. I grew up with secondhand hand-me-down comic books, so some of the first stuff I started reading were 70s comics like Jonah Hex, and I still go back to that stuff to find inspiration. And then everything from Bronze Age comics right on to today's comics. It doesn't matter if it's sci-fi, superhero, you know, slice of life stuff, anything that I find interesting. I think comics are just the greatest way to tell a story, and that's where I found my inspiration.
Grew up being inspired by like Marvel, of course, everybody's gonna say Marvel, DC, but me, my brother, and my older cousin used to collect the Universe 2 and the Universe 1, like the Marvel Universe cards were awesome, learning about people's powers and stuff, and like the art was so good. And I remember, and it's so funny looking back now, like Arthur Adams stuff was so really inspirational. And then later on, Jim Lee, Campbell, anything that kind of melded the world between animation and illustration was just like super, super cool. What keeps me going is story. I love story. You need a good character, you need a good like challenge or whatever they're trying to overcome, whatever they're trying to become better. Sometimes people will argue, but you get this cool thing where it's like they're not changing. Maybe it's like they stay static character for the whole time, but if they're going through a bunch of crazy stuff, what do they go through? Like, do they decide to change? Do they decide not to? Do they stay the same? Those are all like solid characters, solid story is any medium. Video games, movies. I read so many books. Like Stephen King's a huge inspiration too. That's not like, you wouldn't say that it's like the medium of comics, but yeah, anything with stories, basically it.
Oh, Superman. Easy. Hands down.
I mean, Hulk or Superman? I would say that fight would not end in a knockout. I feel like Superman would try and just hold Hulk and stop him, or just pick him up and put him into space until he stops breathing and then drop him. So, Superman, but I don't think he'd be happy about it.
Oh man, I want to get like super nerdy because it's a nerdy question, right? It's like, okay, a dimensional rift would have to open to be able to have the two worlds meet each other, right? Because otherwise, you wouldn't know. You'd have to get the Marvel versus DC stuff going on. So that's a tough choice because they're both pretty friggin' strong. So I want to say Hulk. Because he's green, so Superman might be like, oh shit, Is he kryptonite? I don't know this guy. So, Hulk.
Oh, damn. Oh. I gotta go with Superman. Yeah, I gotta go with Superman. Yeah.